Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to take you guys through my whole workout routine, show you guys what I'm doing at home, because I'm sure you guys already know all gyms are closed. So I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing with the little equipment that I have. All I have are these dumbbells that go up to 50 pounds, a set of resistance bands that I just got, and this bench that I took from my dining room. So right now I'm about 3 weeks into my cut. It's a 16-week prep, so I have to stay on track, make sure I'm doing my workouts, make sure I'm doing my cardio, hitting my macros. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm doing a push-pull leg split. So day number 1 over here is a push day. As you can see, I'm doing a chest press. Since the 50 pounds are fairly light, I added the resistance band to help me feel like I'm lifting heavy again. I did about 8 to 10 reps on there. Without the bands, I probably would have done like 20, so that helped a lot. Exercise number 2 are going to be these it's an imitation of cable flies, but I'm using the resistance band and I tied it up to a shelf I have hanging in the garage. So I did about 15 reps of this, and I used a neutral grip. A lot of people like to use an overhand grip when doing flies, but this neutral grip definitely felt a lot different and a lot better. I highly recommend that you try it. And I brought it to my mid-pec rather than down, just to target the inner and a bit of the upper chest. The next exercise is going to be some push-ups with my feet at an incline. This is the last chest exercise, so it's kind of like a burnout. Each set I did until I was like 2 shy of failure, so I saved a few in the tank for the next few sets. And then the last set I went till failure. The reason my feet are at an incline is just to target my upper chest a bit more. Next I moved on to some shoulders. This is the only shoulder exercise I did for the workout. Since this is a chest dominant push day, I also have a shoulder dominant push day in my split. But yeah, side lateral raises, I did about 15 to 20 reps of each of these. Now moving on to some triceps. This is supposed to be like an imitation of a rope push down. I just hung the cable up, and the key with this movement is to keep your elbow in the same place throughout the movement and make sure your shoulder blades are like pinched back. I did about 10 to 12 reps of that just to get the triceps warmed up. Next I moved on to some of these tricep overhead presses. You can do these with dumbbells like on the bench, but I really like the tension that the resistance band gives you. As you can see, like I'm exploding into the movement, and then I'm bringing it back down slowly and bringing my elbow back just to make sure I get a full stretch. If you haven't tried this, I highly recommend it. These cables are awesome. They're probably the best investment for a home gym or a home workout, whatever you want to call it. To finish off my triceps, I moved on to some kickbacks. You can do one at a time. I just like to do them both at a time. The key with this, like any other tricep movement, is keep your elbow in the same place. And when you're doing these, you want to keep your head neutral. You don't want to be like moving your neck up and like down. That can really, you can hurt yourself doing that. So just be sure that you're maintaining your posture. And I did about 15 reps of these. Day number 2, moving on to a pull day. So I like to start with these. They're kind of like pull downs, but like to the side. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can see what I'm doing. Even in the gym, I like to start with this. It's a good way to activate your lats, get the blood flowing to the right places. I like to use it as a pre-activation movement. I usually do like 2 sets of it, but since I'm working out at home right now, I'm just using it as a actual workout. So I'm doing 4 sets of it. Like I said, I'm doing 4 sets of everything. But the key with this is just to pull your elbow back as far as you can. And doing this at the beginning of your workout will set your pull day for success. I guarantee it. Next, I moved on to some pull-ups. I went inside to do these. And the key with this is to make sure you're going down all the way to feel a full stretch. A lot of people only like to do half pull-ups. But same as what I did with the push-ups, I stopped about 2 or 3 shy of failure just to make sure I got through all my next sets and went to failure on the last one. Next over here, I'm doing some dumbbell rows. I attached the resistance band because 50 pounds just definitely isn't enough for rows. I did about 10 to 12 reps of these, and the key is just pulling your elbow back and make sure you're going down all the way. Just to make sure you feel the proper stretch and the proper contraction with this. Now moving on to, these are kind of like close grip pull downs, but I'm at a bit more of an angle, so they're almost like a row at the same time. But my main goal with this was to target the inner back and just hold that contraction and feel that, because I feel like I was doing a lot of like lat work that I wasn't doing enough like on my inner back. The last exercise for back are going to be, it's like an imitation of a rope pullover, and this definitely felt really good, but I felt like I wasn't like, I didn't feel it enough. So then I moved on to a single arm one to get more range of motion, and this, like, if you finish your workout with these, they will burn, but it feels really good. I usually end all my back workouts with these pullovers. Now onto biceps. I like to do heavy curls. So I never really noticed like big changes in my bicep development until I started doing heavy curls. Right now I'm curling 40 pounds for 6 to 8 reps. I used to always do like 10 to 15 reps for biceps. And then when I started going heavy with them, like sometimes even 4 to 6 reps, that's when I noticed a difference and my biceps started growing a lot. So I highly recommend starting your bicep workout with curls, but make sure it's heavy. Make sure you're getting no more than 8. Right now, like I said, I'm doing 40 pounds and coming up and then going slow on the way down. Now moving on to these hammer curls with the resistance band. You can see I'm doing the same thing. I did high reps with this since I couldn't really go heavy with the resistance band and I already went heavy with the first exercise. But exploding up and slowly and controlling down. That's the key to any exercise. And at the end of my pull day, I did some ab work. I like to do abs every 2 days, sometimes 3 days if I get lazy. But over here you can see I'm doing these almost like the imitation of rope crunches. When I come up, I'm stretching my abs out all the way and then coming down and crunching. With abs, I like to go high reps, about 15 reps for everything. Next, I moved on to these leg raises, and when I bring my legs up, I kick them up just for the extra contraction. This one burns. It's really hard to do these because I had nothing to hold on to behind me. Usually, like if I do it with someone, I'll hold on to their ankles, or if I do it in my living room, I'll hold on to the couch, but didn't really have anything. Next, moving on to some obliques. So this is the oblique exercise that I always have done and I probably always will do. I see great results with this exercise, and when I'm shredded, my obliques pop. And this is the exercise I have to thank. So definitely try that out if you're trying to get your obliques to pop out. Here's a little physique update. I think this video is about 2.5 weeks into my cut. You can see I'm slowly getting a little bit more defined. Abs aren't quite there, but they're showing up, and so are my obliques. Back is getting more defined, and I can see striations in my shoulders when I work out, so definitely a good sign. Day number 3, leg day, everyone's favorite. So I started off with these squats. I hold the dumbbell in front of me, and again, it's 50 pounds, not a lot. So I like to use the resistance band to help me out, make the exercise a bit harder, and I did about 10 to 12 reps with these. I feel like with squats, like I usually go heavy with squats. Like I never do less than 135. Now it's kind of weird that I can't really do that anymore. I don't have a barbell. So these resistance bands are really, really helping me. Like I said, they're probably one of the best investments if you're trying to work out at home or build a home gym. Next, I moved on to some stiff leg deadlifts. I did about 10 to 15 reps on these. These are just to hit the hamstrings. These are my all-time favorite hamstring exercise. The key with it is just to make sure that you're moving your hips back and keeping your back straight. Now moving on to these banded leg presses. You want to make sure if you do these that you put the band on your heel and not on your toe. I was trying to think of ways to do like a leg press, and this was my solution, and it definitely feels awesome. I kind of moved my hands out a bit to add more resistance just to make the band tighter, and the contraction was great. This is going to finish off my quads over here. I like to do some walking lunges outside. I do about 12 reps of each set. Like I said, 4 sets of everything. And in this Florida heat, like, I was sweating a lot, burning a lot. Like, it's in the garage and there's no AC over there. So definitely burning a lot of calories doing these exercises. The final workout is going to be calves. No, I do not neglect my calves. But yeah, about 15 reps of these, and I like to, almost every exercise, I come down slower and then explode up. Here's a different view of it. But thank you for tuning in to this workout, or these workouts. And now enjoy these next few clips of me messing around in between my sets, feeling the music.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you writing? Saying never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you all.
Okay, so what? Someone hit your block up, I tell you if it was us.
You talking money, didn't hear a name. You talking about me, I don't see the shade. Pushing my style, I take any lane. Pushing my love, I do anything. Look what you done. I'm in London, got my beat from London. Ice down. No Chanel, Nike track, do it roll. What's the
Back to him. You don't really want the views. You don't want a snapshot of things going on with the crew. You don't want to hear not nice did 13 and did another 2.